Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it so very much. Today is an empties video. There is so much stuff in here. I finished more than I even thought I did because I remembered I had a couple things in my purse that I had to go grab. So yeah, let's just get into it. First up is from Batiste. This is the waterless cleansing foam. This came in my Pop Sugar must-have last year. It was fine. I liked it better than a actual dry shampoo. This is very much like a mousse. So you shake it up, you hold it upside down, you push on this and get it. It did leave a white cast on my hair in different places when I got like enough of it in to because you have to definitely massage it in. It's not something you can just spray. So I liked it better. It felt cleaner than dry shampoos have felt to me in the past, but I definitely wouldn't purchase it again. It's not something that I was crazy about. Then I have this skin supplement. This is from Zitsticka. It is the Skin Discipline for Disobedient Skin Dietary Supplement, and it's supposed to help with acne. And there's like probiotics in it, and you take one every day. As I don't know if you can see that there's like discoloration on the packaging. That is because and you can see inside that's the color of the pills inside. And then they did have one of these in each one of them that's supposed to like soak up any excess. So I do think my skin is doing well, and I'm almost done. I think, well, no, I'm not almost done. I am on my second container of these right now. So we'll see what happens after I finish that, if my skin changes again. But I did like these, but I got these 50% off. So unless I found them 50% off again, I wouldn't purchase them again because they are expensive. I forgot to mention on the Zitstickas, they do have a very like strong kind of almost minty scent to them. It's weird that they have a scent, but they do. Next up is the Changing Magic Foot peeling shoes from TonyMoly. These are very good. I use them, I know some people use them every other week or every month. It usually takes me about 2 weeks for them to peel. So you definitely want to be wearing socks and shoes when you do that, because you don't want to be walking around in public with your feet looking like that. And I've seen some people like peel off, and it says very clearly on them, don't peel off the dead skin. So I never have done that. I don't know if that would help the process or if it it sounds painful and I don't want to do it, but I do like them. I do them once every like 4 to 6 months. From Feel Harmony, I have finally finished. Woo. I'm having issues with my lighting today, I guess. I finally finished this rose petal facial mask. I have been working on this. It was in at least 2 mask projects. It smells very much like rose. It does have like little bits of rose petal in it. I think it's probably close to what the fresh is, but it was fine. I do have one more sample of it that I'm going to put in like my pass along, whatever. I don't want to use it anymore. I'm so sick of it. A body butter and scrub. This was, I think I got this in a giveaway, or it was either a giveaway or a swap. I don't remember. It is from Hallu. It was the Unicorn Beach Scrub and Body Butter Bar Deep Clean with blueberry seeds and shea butter. It was interesting. It did smell really nice. The packaging was kind of hard because it's cracking here, so then I was always trying to like find the lip and pull it up. Oh, it says 12 uses on it. That's interesting. I probably got right around 12 uses on it too. It was fine. It's not something I would probably purchase because it was a little annoying to use, and I think it's supposed to be a moisturizer too, but I definitely wanted to put lotion on afterwards. So it was nice that it didn't leave me like slick or anything, because I've had there's one coming up in this bag that is one that you will leave with an oil slick. That wasn't, I don't think it hurt any, but it was like you definitely wanted to add lotion after that. This is something that I raided from my mom's collection because it was just sitting there and it was getting old, and I was like, let's just use it up instead of letting it like dry out and go gross. This is from Personal Care Alpha Hydroxy Age Defying Skin Cream. I think you should probably pick this up at like TJ Maxx or someplace like that. It was a thick cream, has not a terribly unpleasant scent, but not something I would really like. I just used this as a neck and chest moisturizer. It was fine for that. It lasted for months though. I'm so glad that it is gone, and no, I would never purchase it. It also, like, it left you feeling, I don't know, if I got, as I was putting it on, if I had already put my deodorant on, it like would react over in that area. So that was a little weird. Like, they would pill up weird, not like it caused any, it didn't cause any skin issues. Let's talk some soaps. I have lots of soaps this month. We have from Ulta Beauty, this is the Freshwater Mist Moisture Gel Hand Soap. This was nice. It does have like the little beads in it. And I'm trying to remember what the scent smelled like. Although I seem to, like, the cap doesn't want to stay on anymore, and I'm not sure what's up with that. It keeps falling off. Yeah, the scent is fine. It's, you know, kind of a generic C type scent. Nothing super exciting about it. But now I don't know what to do with this stupid thing. I don't know why it broke off. It's just been sitting in this bag. It worked fine up until I put it away after it had been rinsed out. From Bath & Body Works, this is the Passion Fruit and Banana Flower. Oh my gosh, I really like this one. It's a really fresh, sweet, tropical scent. The notes are passion fruit, pineapple leaves, and banana flowers. But I swear there's like actual, like the passion fruit must just be so strong, because I don't really feel like it's really florally at all or green like with the leaves. It is like a tropical fruit. And another soap, I really liked this one too. This is the Vanilla Coconut White Barn Gentle Gel Hand Soap. So this one, there's some of them that now are saying that they're White Barn, but they're sold by Bath & Body Works too. This was whipped vanilla, peach blossom, and warm coconut. Oh my gosh, this is just delicious. Really good. It's like slightly coconutty, but not, it doesn't really smell like a super coconut, and it doesn't smell like a straight vanilla. Like, it's not cloying like a vanilla can be. This one is really good. This is definitely another one that I would really like to purchase and get another bottle of it. Last hand soap. Yes, I knew I had gone through a lot of them, because sometimes you're like, get right at the end of the month, and you're like, I'm going to have extra soaps this month. This is another White Barn. This is the Sun Washed Citrus. Oh my gosh, I liked this one too. I don't know what I was thinking this was going to smell like, but this is a sweet citrus, like a sugared citrus. I wouldn't say sun washed, like this is like a sugared citrus. Sugared lemons, juicy pineapple, and mandarin. Those were all great Bath & Body Works hand soaps, and I would definitely purchase all of them again. This is one I would not purchase again. This is the True Blue Spa from Bath & Body Works. This is the Nita Margarita Citrus Body Scrub. Found this one. Still sealed, smelled amazing. Like the smell of this, oh my gosh, so good. Like margarita to the max, just really delicious. You want to like eat it. It smells so good. This is a body scrub. It's not a sugar scrub, and there was a lot like this. It was rough. So if you like a rough scrub, there's that. The first, other than sucrose, that was the first ingredient. The second ingredient was mineral oil. And I can tell you that mineral oil just clung to everything. This I would get out of the shower, and I would, like, the last thing I always do is the scrub. I would, when I toweled off, my towel was like kind of grody after using this, and was not a fan of that. Like, it just, like, it seeped into my towels, and I need to wash them again. Even though they've been washed, I feel like they don't feel as soft and fluffy as they should. So yeah, and then you just, I don't know, lotions, you didn't need a lotion after this because it was just so much, but it was that mineral oil, and everything was slick. Like my tub was slick, you know, my Buff Puff got kind of gummy as well with this. So this is not one that I would repurchase. I'm glad that it is gone. I was so glad when it finished up. Yeah, Not a fan. All right, this is my second of 3 bottles. So this one you'll see again next month. This is the Naturally Good For You Balance and Boost 100% proven TLC complex tart cherry concentrate, 5-loxin and curcumin. It's supposed to help like with joints and stuff. And this, I feel a little bit better. Like I haven't had as many aches and like pops and stuff as I normally do. Former dancer, you know, I can pop almost every joint, and joints that you wouldn't even think about. Regularly pop those. So, yeah, I do like this. I don't know what I'm going to do when this is gone, because I bought these on clearance at Ulta and they're no longer carried on their website, and they were expensive. These were like 8 something on clearance, and they were like, I want to say they were $25 a bottle before. So not worth that to me. But yeah. All right. If you want a perfumed lotion that is going to linger, you're going to have a lot of scent to it, and also seems to be really moisturizing. Could be that I was using it partly at the same time as that body lotion though. This is the By Invitation Michael Buble Luxury Body Lotion, and I was just trying to get some of the smaller containers out of my drawers because it was getting too big, like not enough room in there anymore for all of the small lotions. So I did like this. This does have a very distinct scent to it. It also is really hard to open. So once I got it open, I just left it open the entire time because I was like, I'm not going to deal with it. It was really hard to get the lotion out because it's flat here. So I feel like I wasted lotion in it too, which I don't like. But yeah, it's a really strong scent. I'm glad I used it in June instead of July because I think it would be too heavy for hot weather. Definitely more of a fall type scent because of how strong and how much it projects. Let's talk a couple candles. The first one is from Ulta Beauty. This is one that I added on not too long ago. I did notice that the heat started to cause the label to peel on one side. I'm not really sure why. This was the Sunset Apricot scent. It just smells kind of like smoke now. It didn't have as much projection or scent as a Bath & Body Works candle. It was fine. It lasted a long time. It's a soy blend candle. It was fine. I don't think I would probably purchase another one from them unless they were like super cheap, you know, $5 or less, then I would. But I think more than that, they're not really worth it. Another candle that I went through is also from Ulta Beauty. This was a free gift with purchase. I bought one of the Cosmopolitan juice, that's what they're called, the juice perfumes. So they have like the Eau de Juice, that's what they're called. They're the ones that look like they're in juice boxes. This is the scent Pure Sugar. This is a very strong scent. This, like, you could smell it for a long time. It was harder. I ended up taking one of the lids from my other Bath & Body Works and putting it over it because it did smoke a lot when you tried to blow it out otherwise. And that's the only thing I didn't like about this type of a candle was I had to improvise with something else. So this is like a burnt sugar type scent. It definitely doesn't smell, it's sweet, but it's not just a straight sweet. It definitely has like some woodiness or burnt sugar notes to it as well. It did really like fill up a big space though, and it lasted quite a long time as well. So that was nice. It's a really thick jar too. Like this would be a nice tumbler. I might try, like, this could be a total drinking glass if you could clean up the smokiness on it. Let's talk some wallflowers. There's 4 in this house, so I replaced 3 of them this past month. The first one is 'Tis the Season. Yes, I was out of other scents, so this is why it got up there. This is kind of a fall winter type scent, but it isn't so strong or so like you could use it year round. This is Rich Red Apple, Sweet Cinnamon, and Cedarwood. I really get mostly the apple with it. It's kind of like a tempered apple, so it does work year round in a pinch. Then we have this one, the Aloha Kiwi Passionfruit. This one is really nice. It's a, you know, sweet, bright sweet type of a scent. The notes are tropical passion fruit, radiant kiwi, and juicy pineapple. I like that one. That's more of the type of scent that I go for. And then the last one was the one that in my last Bath & Body Works haul, my dad got a recommendation from another gentleman at the store. And this is mahogany teakwood, which is rich mahogany, black teakwood, dark oak, and frosted lavender. This stuff, it's been days, and I can, like, anytime you're close to that part of the house, you can definitely smell this. It's a very strong presence. It's a very, like, male type cologne type scent. Not my favorite. It's not terrible, like, it's not off-putting or anything. It's just, it's a little strong and masculine for my tastes. I finished the conditioner from the John Frieda let's see, Go Blonder Lightening Conditioner. I still am working on the shampoo. I think I've ended up with like 3 extra uses of shampoo than of the conditioner. So yeah, that doesn't always happen, but it did this time. This says it has citrus and chamomile in it. It smells really nice. This is a brand that I do like, their shampoos and conditioners, and I would be interested in getting some more of this. I did notice, like, I have a couple streaks that look a little blonder, but I think my hair is just darkened up at this point, that the blonde doesn't really help as much as it used to. It used to bring out more highlights than it is now. From Dove, this is the Advanced Care Invisible 48-hour deodorant. It's fine. I do tend to, I like to switch back and forth between Dove and Secret, or, you know, Degree or something. I don't like to use the same brand deodorant over and over again because it tends to start not working quite as well. Like, it doesn't feel as fresh and it doesn't smell as fresh to me. So maybe that's a nose thing. I don't know. But it's nice. I got like a 4-pack of them on clearance at Costco. That's why I have it. And yeah, it was fine. TonyMoly Minions Invisible, or they're not invisible, they're blemish patches. They don't work nearly as well as the Peter Thomas Roth ones. Those ones have like a medication in them. These, I think, are just the hydrocolloid. Yeah. And they, you know, if you can see those little stickers on there, the little hearts, that's what they look like. So you're actually putting a heart on your face, and or, you know, on your chin or your neck or wherever. They're fine. I wouldn't buy them again, though. The Sephora Grapefruit Face Mask. This was not my favorite. I usually really like the Sephora masks, but I wasn't a big fan of the grapefruit one. And maybe that's just where my skin was when I used it, but it wasn't my favorite. That's the only sheet mask I used this past month, which seems really crazy to me. From Neuma, this is the New Moisture Instant Fix. It's a leave-in conditioner. I like this one. It's really good. It's one of my go-tos, so I like this one. It's a 10. There's a couple other ones, but whenever I see them on special at Ipsy, that's where I get this one from. I do usually try to pick up one of those. Hey, I finally finished a foundation. I'm so excited. I was using this foundation and I was trying to use it up. There's still product in here, but I'm going to have to like break off the plastic pump at the top. As I was twisting this, something fell out from in there and on my lap, and I don't know what it was. It kind of freaked me out though. I'm going to have to break this off, and then I'll rinse it out and toss it in the recycling because it's glass. It's an okay foundation. It wasn't my favorite. I think I needed maybe a titch darker, but it's I don't know. It was hard. It was hard to find a primer that I liked with it, and that was my biggest problem. I needed something definitely that was more silicone based with this one because it is so drying and it just kind of clings as soon as you put it on. Wherever it sets, it wants to like stick. So I found it was a little hard to work with. It's fine. Like, it does last a long time once you get it to the point where you like it, but it takes a while to it's a learning curve to get to that, where you don't mind, how it looks throughout the day. Another beauty blender. It's been 3 months, so at the end of every 3 months, beauty blenders get tossed because they can start growing bacteria. This one worked really well. Like, what I find is my Estee Lauder Double Wear, as much as I love it, it tends to gum up these beauty blenders, beauty sponges, much more quickly than any of the other foundations that I've used lately, and they never seem to get quite as clean when I'm using Double Wear, so that's kind of a bummer. But it lasted really well. I feel like that was one of the longer lasting beauty blenders, the original one. Again, since it's been 3 months, I am tossing one of my Clarisonic brush heads. I use this every single night with my Clarisonic. I think my one Clarisonic is dying though, and I'm very sad about it because it's basically like I have to charge it every day. It doesn't even want to give me 2 charges, 2 uses anymore. So you won't see this in 3 months time because I'm going to use, I have a couple of the like disposable Foreos that came in different, I don't know, gifts with purchase or something. Anyway, I have 2 of them, so I'm going to use those and kind of let my Clarisonic rest for a little bit before I go back to this, and then we'll see. I don't know. I'm very sad that it's breaking down. I have 3 of them, so it's not like a big deal, but one of them I can't find the charger for anywhere, and the other one isn't where I am, so I'm stuck with this one, and just fingers crossed that it keeps going. A primer that I finished is the Smashbox Oil and Shine Control Primer. This was fine. This is not like my favorite type of primer, but it was definitely the type of primer that I needed for the Can't Stop, Won't Stop. It's more of a silicone type, you know, it has a good slip to it. The same with this one. This is not one of my favorite primers. This is the Pores Be Gone Matte Primer with Fig Extract. This one I did cut open because I was trying to get as much use out of it as I could because of that NYX foundation, and it was a fine primer. It's not my go-to type primer, and I don't know, I didn't love it, but I'm glad that I used it up. One last primer is from Philosophy, and this is the Anti-Wrinkle Miracle Worker Primer. This is definitely a silicone, but it's not like the Benefit silicone that's more mattifying, and it doesn't feel like super slippy. This is definitely not quite as slippy as the original Smashbox, but this is definitely akin to the Smashbox primers. It was a fine primer. Again, not one that I would like seek out to purchase though. I have 2 items that are no good that I am tossing. So the first is the Deco Miami. This is the Feeling Fuego nail lacquer. This I got in a lure box, I believe, and it doesn't look too bad on my nails. So it's this orangey shade, and it doesn't look too bad on. That was one coat, but it went on really chunky, and I was like, painted the first nail and I painted the second nail, and I was like, nope, not going to do it. So as you can see, I only have like 2 accent nails. That wasn't my plan with this. I've been trying to test out all my nail polishes, so I've been doing 2 colors at a time, but I decided I know I could add, you know, a little nail polish remover and thin it out, but I'm not going to do that. I did hear that I think it's Zoya nail polishes, they will recycle these. You can pack them up and send them to them. So that is my plan. I've been saving all of my nail polish empties for the last bit so that I can send them in that way. From Biorace, this is the Pore Tightening Pearl Clay Mask, and this had like the shrink wrap around it, and I opened it up and I was like, okay, it looks a little dried out, but we'll still try it. No, it is like putty. It will not spread. It's terrible. I'm going to have to scrape it out into the trash so that I can recycle the packaging on it. I'm kind of bummed that I never got to try it. It did have a funky smell to it. Not like, it doesn't smell like it's gone off. It's this green scent. I think it's spirulina or something that it has in there, and I just don't like the scent of that. Finished a hand cream. This is one of those that they have at Ulta around Christmas or around Thanksgiving, I guess, and they're usually like 5 for 10 or 5 for 5, whatever. The Sweet and Shimmer, it was the Berry Pretty hand lotion. It was fine. I grew to like it better. The scent is kind of like a medicinal berry scent. It was fine. It's kind of a weird consistency though, so it's not one that I would recommend or that I would pick up. I like something, you know, that feels really creamy and hydrating, and this one felt a little thicker and that you really had to work it in it, and I'm not a big fan of that. From Kypris, this came in a BoxyCharm. This is the Antioxidant Dew Quench and Glow Serum. I used this up. It was fine. I used it as a neck and chest serum, and I will say, if you have this, you drop this or knock it off the counter by accident, I don't know how I did it, but the glass dropper will shatter, and I had to clean up glass all over my floor. The bottle was fine. It was still up on the counter. I don't know how I don't know what I was doing that I knocked it off. Anyway, yeah, so most of it I was pouring into my hand, which is fine. It's supposed to be a quench and glow serum. It was fine. Probably wouldn't purchase it again because I think it's very expensive, and I'm not like there's controversy over those brands that come in BoxyCharm if they are the same exact formula as you would buy in store, so don't want to test that. Finished another serum. This was my vitamin C serum for a while, quite a long while actually. This is the Glow Girl by High C Brightening Serum, 20% vitamin C, 4% lemon peel ferment. This was more of a lotiony type serum. It wasn't, you know, like the really thin watery type serums that you get a lot of the time. This was more of a lotion consistency. It was fine. It smells slightly lemony. I don't know. Did I love it? No. Did I hate it? No. It was okay. This is the setting powder that I am currently using, and I should have put it in a sample Saturday, but I didn't because I had this, and it's, you know, 3 little dots in there. And what I did was I had it set like this. This is what I've done before, and then I just tapped the side, and what happened was, I don't even know how it did it because now it's like seems to be in there pretty tight. This popped out, and when I pulled the bottom up, there's like this mound of powder, and I was like, and this was at the bottom. So what I did was I took one of my brush cleaners, you know, the little tins that have the little sponge in them, took the sponge out and put the powder in it, and that's how I've been using it. It's been lasting pretty good. I think it's a fine powder. It's from Lottie London. The packaging, I've never had that happen to packaging before. So yeah, that was definitely a shock that a couple tap trying to get some extra powder out, just popped out the lid. Not sure how the filter part. Not sure how that happened. But I do like this. I think it's a pretty good powder. It doesn't leave me feeling quite as matte as some of the other powders. So I still feel like I don't like the feel of the cream products, like stickiness, or like I like the powder finish. So probably won't purchase that because I prefer something different. I'm so glad this is gone. This was sent to me from Influencer for review. It is the Peter Thomas Roth Pro Strength Microdermabrasion Blackhead Eliminator Acne Medicine with 2% hyaluronic acid and 5% microencapsulated enzyme complex exfoliating crystals. So many words. Basically, it's a face scrub that has salicylic acid in it. I was really excited to use this. You're supposed to put it on dry skin and massage on. I didn't do that because that was really rough on my skin. But every time I used this, my skin, like, it was unpleasant after about a minute. So I don't think you're supposed to leave it 1 to 4 minutes. I would never leave this on for 4 minutes. I don't even know if I got to 1 minute most of the time. Once it started stinging and, like, you know, feeling like uncomfortable is when I would rinse it off. So I would only use this once a week, which is crazy for me because I am, you know, I like exfoliating. I use, you know, my Clarisonic all the time. I did not use Clarisonic with this, obviously. But yeah, this was not fun. I didn't like it. But once I started using it, I didn't want to like throw it out or give it to somebody and like, here's this partially used skincare. I didn't feel right doing that. So yeah, I would not buy that. It was very strong. And that's coming from somebody who does a lot of skincare and has pretty good tolerance for most skincare. Unless like I have an allergy or not an allergy, but a skin reaction. Like there's certain things that I have reactions to, sensitivities to. I finally have these guys, and some of them could have been in earlier. And the thing that drives me nuts on these is I can see that I still have stuff in here, but the way that they are made, I can't get the rest of it out. I'm going to try to figure out how to pop the lids off of these and refill them, because this is much more convenient to carry in my purse, and I don't really want to keep buying them. I mean, they're not too expensive, but just extra plastic waste, you know? So these are all antibacterial hand gels with essential oils. So I have crushed candy cane. This is very strong, very pepperminty type scent, but not like a straight peppermint, like a candy cane peppermint. It was fine. It was very strong though. Then I have strawberry pound cake. I like the strawberry part of it, but I'm not a big fan of bakery scents. So this was a little nauseating to me. I'm glad that one's gone. I'm not sad that that one's gone. And then the last one was my favorite. This is gingham. You know, kind of fresh floral type scent, a little fruity, a fruity floral. Very innocuous, not anything exemplary. We're almost done, I swear. A Wet n Wild clear protector nail polish. I've had several of these over the years. This is like my favorite, just clear nail polish. So glad to have finished another one. Yeah, there's a little bit in there, but it doesn't want to come out anymore, and I'm done scraping it. From Josie Maran, this was the Argan Oil Hair Serum. This was way too thick and heavy for my hair. It really weighed it down and just made it feel kind of oily. Even like didn't matter how much or how little I used, kind of had the same results on my ends. So I usually put it like from the nape of my neck down. Was way too strong for that. So would not repurchase that. If I find any more, I don't have any more in my collection, but if I got it again, I would probably pass it along to somebody who has thicker, more coarse hair, because my hair is very fine. I have a lot of hair, but it's a very fine, healthy hair. So that was too much for it. From Tarte, this I used for about 8 weeks, and then I was just like, I can't use this anymore. This is driving me nuts. I'm not loving the mascara I'm using currently, but this is the Tarte Lights Camera Splashes. So this is the waterproof. This is flaked on me, and like I had so many black circles under my eyes because of this mascara. The original one didn't do that to me before, so I don't know what's up with this. I'm done with it. So even though I didn't use it for 3 full months, I'm done, and I would never repurchase it. Waterproof mascara shouldn't leave your lashes. Like, it should stick like glue. From Estee Lauder, this is the Perfectionist Pro Rapid Brightening Treatment with vitamin C. This is just a serum. This was very blah. I didn't feel like it was especially like effective vitamin C, but it also wasn't especially perfumed, which a lot of Estee Lauder stuff is. So I did like that. Probably wouldn't purchase it though because it was too expensive. And then we have a moisturizer that I really like. This is the Glamglow Glow Starter Mega Illuminating Moisturizer. This is in the shade Nude Glow. This does give you a very glowy look on your skin if you wear it just by itself. I always use this under, you know, a primer, and then I have a foundation that's going to be a mattifying foundation, and then powder on top of it. So I didn't find it too glowy, but if you don't have all of those steps, then yeah, I think it would be very glowy. And if you're an oily skin person, I probably wouldn't do it. But yeah, you definitely, like, you'll see the sheen on your fingers as you're rubbing it in. That's it. Finally done. I will have the total amount that I used up this month, as well as all of the product names and how many I've used this quarter. I did that last quarter too, so you can kind of see where I am. I can't remember what I said what my goal was for this year, if it was like 750 or 1,000 or whatever. I finished a lot this quarter, and I mean, sometimes it's easy when you have a lot of foil packets. So let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Have you tried any of these products? How are you doing on finishing products up? How are you doing with your empties? I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I can't wait to talk to you next time. Bye.